So we'll jump right into the Detroit Lions. They lost to the Green Bay Packers 31-24. We're not going to talk about the game a whole lot. There's obviously some parts. We just want to talk about the Lions as a whole. But yeah, lost 31-24. Stafford went 24-34 for 244 yards and a touchdown. Swift came back and led the team with an amazing 24 yards rushing. I mean, that was exactly what this team has been missing is 24 yards on the ground. But he also did have a touchdown and 26 yards through the air. Defensively, the Lions were carved up. There's nothing really to say about that, which isn't really a surprise. But all in all, like I thought the effort was there, and I think there's a lot to say about that. In a game that you were supposed to get killed, I think the spread was 9. Is that what it was, Trav? Was the spread 9?
Spread was 9.
Yeah,
it went to 9 towards the end of the day,
which is a very big number in the NFL.
It is.
But anyway, I mean I thought they played hard to the end. I thought they had a well-called football game.
Good coaching.
I agree with that. So you really like what Bevel's doing here. From a Packers perspective, what did you think about that game and what you saw from the Lions?
For what the Lions are this year, I think that Darrell Bevell actually did a remarkable job with the injured players that were out this week. Mm-hmm. I mean, had Galladay been in there, and who else were you missing?
We were missing, Galladay. We were missing both of our defensive ends.
Okudah.
Flowers and
right.
Everson Griffin, and we were missing Okudah. We were missing Trufant.
Well,
so we were missing 4 stars on the defensive side.
It could have been a very different game, honestly.
Yeah,
and it was actually a really well played and called game by Darrell Bevell.
I thought so too. Trav, do you agree with that? Like what are you thinking of Bevell so far in his 2 games that you've seen him coach?
I think you always come out a little bit like it's a new coach, so you come out excited, ready to go. So I think the team has played a little harder under him, maybe a little more loose, like which what he wanted.
Yeah.
Obviously we would have liked to win, kind of. I would kind of like that draft pick too. We'll see, but
yeah.
But I am not mad about it. I think we're playing fine, especially the fact that we held on with you guys, Micah.
Yeah.
With like half our defense out, I feel like, and hurt. And so I'm not too mad about the game.
It makes me wonder if we have more talent than what we think we do.
I think
Detroit.
we do.
And it just wasn't being utilized correctly under Patricia.
And not enough depth. Which,
yeah.
Well, it also makes you wonder too, or at least it makes me wonder, play calling defensively. Mm-hmm. Like, did Darrell Bevell just say, "Hey, whoever your DC is, here's the playbook. Do what you want. Let's go out and win. Let's go make a statement." And I mean, where was that play calling with lesser talent on the field, or with more talent on the field? Excuse me, with Patricia in the seat. It's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know if really the defensive play calling is what's exciting. I think the offensive play calling in the way that they're holding on to the football a little bit longer, and they're being more aggressive as well. So it's the offense is making the defense better. I don't think the defense played that well. I mean, what was that? What did I say? A 9-minute drive or something like that to start the second half? That's not a drive that you should be excited about. But, I mean, it is Aaron Rodgers. It is the
right.
Green Bay Packers, top 10 in offense in every category. So I don't want to, hate on that. But, I mean, they also let up 31 points, right? So that's not a winning that's not going to win you football games.
But considering
the guy's out, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Which is weird that it wasn't that bad when you're letting 41 or 31 points. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, we were talking before the game and we were trying to pick the over under on that, and we're like, well,
it was tough. Yeah.
Shoot, I mean, if you figure the Packers are going to at least score 30, maybe 35, and then what are the Lions going to score? I do think that when we look at the offense, like Swift coming back, I know you said only 24 yards. He only had 7 carries. A couple of those were kind of breakdown plays. So if you really take away those 2. He's actually, so he averaged 3.4. If you take away those 2, he's probably more around 4, which is a great average. I think he also coming out of the backfield as a receiver. I don't want to guess on this.
26 yards on, I think it was 4 or 7 catches. One of those
four to
two.
One of the
7.
two.
I meant to put it in there. I don't know how I missed it. But
It was 4 catches for 26
catches.
yards. So
Okay.
I mean,
so
he can do.
he's 7 carries, 4 catches.
Yeah, there
All
you
right,
go.
That's where it came from.
Perfect. So yeah,
It was
he
really
can
a-
do everything. It was
There's
exciting.
a reason the way this brain works one way. That's about it.
And I think that makes us look back at the last few weeks and be like, wow, like without Swift, without Galladay, that's challenging. And if you look at like just real quick the play calling, I agree with you. That creative play, I know you love it when I talk about play calling, but on the goal line to get Hockenson the ball,
I love that call.
because now that sets up like 4 other plays out of that exact play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something the Chiefs do all the time. They have the same play with 4 or 5 options on it that makes it really hard to prepare for.
Yeah, and I love that that's called a touchdown pass because I just like when Stafford gets touchdown passes.
Right, especially if you have him in fantasy or something.
That play
Which one?
design was sexy.
That was
when
nice.
that happened, I was like,
Yeah.
I want that one in my playbook.
Right,
yeah,
'Cause that
like
was
that-
real
And
nice.
now they can fake that, and it's open. Like
And that opens
Peterson
up,
was wide
and
open
it
on
also
the
opens
splat.
up like an Agnew end around too. If you put him in motion the other way or something, or like you can mess around with that type of formation. I'm curious when you can really use it. It's kind of like a 4 to 5 yard play more than anything. But
4th and
anyways,
short,
it was nice to see, and it's nice to see some creativity. But anyways, I mean, you get into the game, you're happy with how it went, but then you lose Stafford. Stafford, he got hurt. Sounds like a rib injury. He's questionable for Sunday. The fact that he didn't come back in the game tells me he's not going to play football again this year. This is a big red flag to me. In a way, I'm okay with it.
Ooh.
I'm okay with. We're not making the playoffs. I can admit that, so I'm assuming you
Yeah.
guys will too.
I don't want to.
I don't want to yet. I mean,
D. Samuel, is it? Who are you?
We're not mathematically eliminated yet, so I'd be okay if he's healthy. Go ahead and play, honestly.
Right.
But if there's don't try to be Iron Man here, honestly, because either you got a future with the Lions or you're worth a lot on the trade block, which we'll get into here shortly. But
Don't do anything stupid.
yeah, that's the way I look at it, and especially as soon as he held his ribs, obviously ribs and back can be kind of I was worried that was his back again. He got rolled up on pretty dang hard.
Yep.
On
He
that
did.
play.
A lot of man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who was it?
Yeah.
Was that Smith?
That was Kenny Clark.
Oh, Kenny. Oh yeah, that's right. Ugh, that was brutal.
It was.
Obviously, you can't go through a Green Bay Lions matchup without some questionable calls. So I did want to bring up a couple. I'm not blaming the refs. I promise you, I'm not blaming the refs. I'm not. But there are some calls that change the outline of the game, or the landscape of the game, I should say. All right, so mystery holding call on the first drive of the second half. We're going to start in the second half here. That could have gotten them off the field instead of a 17-play, 9-minute drive to start to get a touchdown and just set the tone. The next thing you know, the Lions have a 3-and-out. That was your only possession of the third quarter was the 3-and-out, and then the Packers had, I think it was like one play inside the third quarter. Third quarter. So it was like the quickest quarter known to man.
Well, it was ridiculous. I think we tied every other quarter with them except for the third quarter.
So it was that 7-0. Yeah.
Exactly. 7-0 in that quarter. Every other quarter was tied. Think about that. The Lions, who are bad and just fired their coach, tied the Packers, who some believe are a top 3 to 4 team in the NFL. Sam's thinking not, but
I don't think so.
But regardless,
Yeah.
they're a good football team.
Yes,
and
they
so
are.
you play them that tough. That drive, that call changed the game. And I did go back and look at it. I would say it was maybe a hold, but it was soft. If we could look at every play in the game, there was plenty of soft calls both ways
And
that
honestly,
could have been called that way.
And they didn't show a replay. Unless did you find a replay when you rewound
There
it?
was a replay when I rewound.
But anyways, it was the latest flag I've ever seen. It was well after the guys were going off the field, and they're like, "Oh wait, there's a flag." And of course, Lions fans know exactly what that means against the Packers. And here we are they gave them a free first down. We were getting off the field. It was going to be a punt. We were going to get the ball back. I think they got a first down, but then it was a 3-and-out after that. So it wasn't like great, but it's like that is what this defense needed. That's what this team needed. And sure enough, I don't want to say robbed because I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but how late it was made me very frustrated. I was so mad.
It did not.
And you know how mad I was.
Oh, you were so mad. What's tough about a call like that is it didn't change whether or not he was going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
if you look at some other calls, maybe they're holding them, whatever. This one did not, and so it's frustrating. I see your concern. Technical, if you're a ref, taking the class, hold.
Well, okay. Well, then let's get it like Micah every time then and call hold every time.
The game would be over.
Right?
I don't always get A's. Come on.
All right, so the next call that I thought was even the more frustrating one was the catch by Marvin Jones because they challenged it. Look, again, I'm not saying this cost the game, but it needs to be mentioned here. I mean, it was basically so there should have been a first and goal from the 1 yard line, and he caught it. You challenged it. He had 2 feet in. He had 3 feet in technically. Because he had both feet in, dragged one, and then they came up, and then he tapped the third one. I don't understand how you get that wrong.
I was surprised by that also.
Like, how do you get that call wrong when you have time to go sit and look at this freaking football call? Like, that is your job. It is your job to get this call right. And, Trav, I know you're going to go off on this is why replay sucks. But if replay sucked, then they wouldn't. Even if you didn't have replay, you wouldn't have called it correctly. Get the call right. That's where I'm at.
Yes, I am a little bit going on that. I can't understand. I've been saying for years, why not just put a 10-year-old in the booth? Is that a catch or is it not? Don't overcomplicate what a catch is. Did he catch the ball or did he not catch the ball?
You could have sat there and paused it. Okay, is the ball in his hands? Yep. Okay, are his feet on the ground? Yep. Okay, it's a catch. It was so obvious.
They overthink the undisputable evidence all the time.
Yeah.
It was a catch.
Yeah.
Regroup and move on. That one was hilarious because I think it went to a commercial break again.
Yeah, of course. And what else is new?
And
they never go through replays anymore.
It
feels like
go to a commercial. Push that button. Yeah, commercial break.
Was it not 100% that it was a catch? Like going into that commercial break, you're like, here we are.
Yeah.
This is easy.
Dude, I was expecting to have it be called a catch.
I thought he might have been
I was looking at my wife. I'm like, well,
for a touchdown.
We're going to be screwed on that. It's going to be called a catch.
Yeah, I was like,
thought his arms
honestly,
were going
when it
across
happened, I was like, there's no way he got feet down. Like, I didn't even think I texted you guys that. And then all of a sudden they challenged it, and I was like, oh, wait, both feet are down. 3 feet are down. It was like, it was crazy. And then, like, all right, so we still got a touchdown on that drive. So I don't want to, say they robbed us of those 7 points. But it was a time. That play was at 9 minutes and 14 seconds. We didn't get into the end zone until 6 minutes, a little over 6 minutes. So that's 3-minute swing in that type of football game. Those 3 minutes were absolutely huge. Not to mention, that was a drive. We lost Stafford because of that injury. He had to scramble to get a first down, got the injury. We would have had our quarterback the rest of the time. Not saying we would have won. I promise you. I'm not saying that, Micah. I'm just saying
getting at you.
That sucks. That sucks that this freaking blown call cost our quarterback his ribs.
Right.
That's bullcrap. Last time somebody had to pay for ribs, we got Eve, and that was a great decision. Right?
Oh my. Yes. Yes. I'm with you. That's a good point that you brought up, and I didn't think about that until you said that earlier.
If I were Stafford, I'd sue the NFL.
Right.
No.
Yeah, you made the wrong call.
Yeah. I wouldn't have got hurt.
Well, this day and age, you can sue for anything. So
Might as well. Whisperation of America.
Listen, to point on that, can I say something on neutral ground here? Nothing against Stafford. That was not the way to go down with the ball.
That's how every single quarterback goes down. The only difference was he got jumped on. As soon as he was starting his slide, nobody's allowed to touch him. So it wasn't Stafford's fault. He does it just the way.
Slide?
No, it wasn't a head first slide. The guy came up from behind him.
It was a little bit ugly.
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty slide, but it was a slide.
Yeah, but if you would, he slid kind of. All right, yeah,
he did not go head first.
He
went head
didn't
first
go
in a
head
different
first.
play.
He kind of went butt first. I don't know. It was
it was a
slide.
All right, if he slid, why would Kenny Clark be coming from this front of him? Kenny Clark always would be coming from behind because he's a defensive lineman.
I guess we'll have to look at it.
Yeah, I would love to because it was a slide. I remember what
next break.
of.
We are definitely looking that up.
We should. Anyways, also another one that came to mind was the no intentional grounding on Aaron Rodgers. It was their field goal drive when they hit that. Was it a 58-yard field goal? or something like that, or
The
56
last
or something.
one?
Yeah.
7, I think.
I thought it was a 58er.
We're all over
tied
57,
in his
58,
career.
somewhere in. I mean, good for Crosby, especially in Detroit when he missed all of those a couple years ago.
Bad.
But I mean, hitting something like that, good for him. But it shouldn't have ever happened because Aaron Rodgers dropped back, never left the pocket, threw the ball out of the back of the end zone. Tell me that's not intentional grounding. That's exactly what intentional grounding is, and it should have been. Only Aaron Rodgers doesn't get that called against him, and a couple other quarterbacks. But that one frustrated me because they would have punted, they wouldn't have kicked the field goal. Again, not blaming the game. Get these freaking calls right, and then we won't have to question them. And then the last one was the onside kick. I personally thought that they got the right call. I thought the ball was out of bounds. I'm curious if you guys had any thoughts on that one.
I don't even know why that was a question. The ball hit the white line.
I thought so too. Depending on obviously
wasn't
balls
even-
But that wasn't the call they made.
No, that's the weird thing. They were focused on Agnew's foot or whoever's foot.
or Killebrew.
Why
Yeah,
are they
Killebrew.
focused on the foot? I'm watching the ball literally hit white, and white's flying everywhere. I'm like, why is that even a
I
question?
don't know.
I feel like that would be one of those 50-50s. Like the fact that they called it out of bounds, like in the call, is the reason why they stood. If they called that Lions ball, I'm not sure they would have overturned it.
That was
other
one of those
than
tough
the fact
ones.
of the ball might have been out of bounds. I couldn't tell.
That should have been
thought
the
it was
focus
as
point
well,
then.
but-
I think. But
Yeah, I agree with that. But it was worth talking about. But again, I'm not blaming the refs. It's just it happens every single time we play the Packers. So you get real sick of it as a Lions fan. But all right, let's do a quick little, maybe 5 minutes or so on the future. Did we see Stafford's last game as a Lion, you think? I mean, there's a good chance that he doesn't play again this year, which I'd kind of be okay with. I mean, that play might have been a turning point. Thanks again, refs.
I guess it just depends who comes in and what they want. I know, like we talked about it, like what are they going to get for him? You know, the early reports are saying first, second round.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know that we're going to get that. I don't. I mean, you look at quarterbacks of his stature, like he's talented as all get out. We know that, but
You don't think the league knows that?
he hasn't
You don't
won
think other
enough
GMs
games.
know that?
Yeah, but are they willing to give up a first round pick for a quarterback who is in the later part of his prime and roll with that? Like you can't just compare him to the greats that play until they're 40.
No, I'm not saying he's one of the greats.
No, so like that's a big deal to give. It depends. Like, is it a late first round pick? I think late first round, early second round, maybe.
Well, I mean, if somebody's
But
gonna,
you're talking first and second.
If someone's going to draft, trade for Stafford, they're going to be win now ready. So it's not going to be a top 10 pick by any means. It's going to be a 49ers. That is going to be 15 to 18. It is going to be, possibly the Cowboys. I mean, they're going to be a top-end pick, but it'll probably be a future first-round pick, not this first-round
They got
pick.
Prescott. There's no way they're going to move on from him.
Why?
They're just not going to.
They don't have to. They don't owe him anything. This was last year of his deal.
They're going to pay him
I don't know, man. That one's interesting to me.
because it's home.
There might be a couple other teams, but I mean, I think if you don't get a first round, I say you hold on to him, ride it out, and get a compensation pick or something. There's got to be something in the lines for that, right?
You would think so. Yeah, it's a tough call. I don't know. It depends if you can move. I know there's not a huge cap hit, but move his cap space somehow. That would help. I know there's not a ton, but there is a piece. I mean, it's still money. So if you get another team to pick that up completely, that allows you to spend more money elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean it does, but you also have to have a quarterback.
Yeah, rookie contract, boom.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's been teams all like time and time again that do it.
You
want
got
me
to
to go down the list?
You got to hit on that draft pick.
I can keep. You want me to go down the list?
No, I know that.
I know. I'm
I
just
know
saying.
that list because those are the list. Like all these quarterbacks were supposed to be so much better than Stafford because they did really good under rookie deals, and all of a sudden, where are they now?
It doesn't matter. At least they won.
I'm just saying the people that hate on Stafford.
I'd just rather win.
You want a flash in the pan?
If we win,
See, I want long-term success.
long-term success. We haven't won since 1957.
I know.
So, like, dude, 63 years.
I know, but
I want success once.
Yeah, I would take a flash in the pan. I should
literally,
take that.
like,
as long
people
as it
are-
ends in a win.
People
or
that
a
are
Super Bowl.
63 have never seen the Lions win a Super Bowl. So, or a championship, 62 and a half. Or,
Don't let him lie to you. He will take a flash in the pan
of
Super
course,
Bowl any
I
day.
don't care. You're telling me like Broncos a couple years back bought Peyton Manning and won a Super Bowl, flash in
All
the
right,
pan.
so you're saying no,
it was worth every second of it.
but
They're
that's
terrible
a completely
sense.
different
How?
situation because they paid for a quarterback.
Yeah, they paid for a quarterback, but
So that's basically saying what Stafford would go do.
But they had to
because
cap-
he's like 8 years older than
yeah,
Stafford
but
is.
we don't have the cap. It's a different scenario. The cap space is completely different in that the Broncos already had a set from their rookies that they brought in, and then went ahead and
But the reason why the Broncos had all that cap space because they kept drafting first round quarterbacks and failed on every
that was
single
after
one of them.
Peyton.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
Tebow,
was. Tebow was a
First round
I don't want to
draft
get. I don't want to get into Tebow because
they had
that
to.
was a miss.
I think there was another draft.
Paxton Lynch was after that.
Oh, what about the tall dude, the really tall guy?
That was a trade. Didn't they trade for him?
I thought he was like
He was a second rounder though.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So top of the second round, instead not a first round.
Dude, the dude, he went to Michigan too. We're sucking right now.
No, he didn't.
Who's the guy? Yes, the guy. He went to Michigan and then he ended up.
Oh yeah, and then he transferred out. No, Ryan Mallett?
Yeah,
No,
he was
no.
on the. No, not Ryan Mallett.
Jake Rudock?
No, guys, you guys are
He's
way
like
off.
really tall.
Really tall. He went to Michigan, then he went to Arkansas or something.
No, that was Mallett.
Mallett?
Look it up. Look up who you're thinking of while I move on
All right.
here.
I saw that hit. I found the hit.
All right, we'll look at it
All right.
when we take a break.
Sounds good.
Because that's bad podcast if nobody can see what we're looking at. But anyways,
For sure.
all right. Today the team announced Spielman and Barry Sanders are going to be on the committee to hire a general manager. Spielman's position is a full-time as a special assistant to the president, Rod Wood, and chairman, Sheila Hamp. I think this is an absolutely home run hire. It could be a game-changing for the organization. I mean, he will be the football mind whispering sweet nothings into these the higher-end people's ears. You know what I mean? Like he's exactly what I want this team to be, and I'm very excited that he's coming in because he's going to be the highest level of football mind that this team has until they hire a GM, and the GM's going to have to report to him. It sounds like, and I'm really excited about it. Trev, I'm curious your thoughts on the Spielman hire, not only to be on the committee to hire a GM, but like long term being a part of the organization.
I love it. I think we needed football minds in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like clear as day. Like that's something that had to happen, and I'm glad that they were willing to do that. I'm excited that they're bringing in these football minds. I hope they can all come together and come to some agreement. I think was it the memo that got released, like they want to hire a coach that has experience and head coaching experience and a GM with experience. I like that. Not sure how you feel about it, but I'm excited about it. I think that it's important. There's some names that I have in mind. We can get into that
Who
or
do you
not
like?
get into
Yeah,
that.
I mean, who do you like?
It depends. If we're going to go in the pro ranks or we're going to go in the college ranks.
Well, if he has GM experience, I'm assuming he's in the pro ranks.
Or so I'm talking coaching, first of all.
Okay, yeah.
All
Who
right.
do you want for a coach?
All right, so
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Jim. No, if we can bring back some, like I know Gary Kubiak has some health issues or had his health issues. I'd be fine with bringing somebody like that back. He's coached in the league.
Was it Tennessee?
Yeah, so it was a coordinator or something, and
Yeah.
it was with Denver for a while. Won a Super Bowl with Peyton.
Okay. Was he
He
the
was
head
also
coach?
He
a
was the head
Chicago
coach
Bear.
when.
He was what?
Chicago Bear head coach.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Before
like
Nagy?
no.
Yeah, before Nagy.
For
Yeah,
for
for
like
sure.
a split time.
Okay.
That's just a random name that I've been thinking about. Like, well, he knows how to deal with a talented quarterback if Stafford stays around.
Yeah.
I think that could be a good pick. If we go to the college ranks, like, what about Bob Stoops? I mean, he's just sitting around. He went to the XFL for a minute and did some stuff. I don't know exactly what. He had success. He won some games. Maybe we look somewhere like that. Obviously, or Urban Meyer. I mean, that'd be an interesting selection. But like, where do we go? Do we go to the college ranks? I don't know. But I like that they're trying to find somebody with experience because I don't think that we're that far off.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't. But I don't like coming out and saying we're going to go with a guy with experience because that just alienates what you have to work with. Like, what if Lincoln Riley calls and he's like, dude, I want to be the next Kingsbury. I want to be that. Well, sorry, you don't have experience. And as soon
What do you
as
mean? What do you mean? She didn't say where.
Okay, I thought by the way you said it. Sorry,
I'm maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking that she's saying like head coaching experience. I don't care if it's college or pro.
Okay,
if Lincoln Riley calls, you take that call and you say, "Come on in. Let's see what Barry Sanders thinks. Let's see what Spielman thinks. Let's see what's going on." But do you hire a GM or a coach first? Is the question.
I think you go with the GM.
And then they have to be on board with what the rest of that committee believes. That's another interesting. That's where this. Sometimes you get too many voices. I'm gonna get into some Federalist papers. I'm not gonna do it for you guys. It'll bore you. But you get too many. You get too many voices, and then does it get confusing? So you have to. If you're bringing that committee in to hire a GM, then maybe you hire a GM with experience, and then let them make that decision.
I have a feeling that's what it means personally.
I hope so.
The fact that it's a GM search tells me that all right, they're looking to find the GM that's going to bring in the head coach. It's not, all right, bring in the GM, and then, all right, run them by who you're going to hire for your head coach.
Never works.
And have them run by who you're bringing in for your coordinators, and we're actually want to hold on to X, Y, and Z. Like, I like that Spielman can be that division. That's where I really think is going to happen. Is he's going to go into a board meeting with Hamp and Rod Wood and be like, very professional, and like, this is the business side, blah, 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 blah. And then he's going to go behind closed doors with the GM, and he's going to be like, F this, F that. This is the way we're going to have to do it. Do you agree with this to the GM? You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
There's like different levels here. It's basically like going from corporate to blue collar, and he's that middleman. And I felt like you're getting that corporate kind of mixed in a little bit too far with the blue collar of the football. And I mean, he's that perfect division there. So
do you have somebody in mind?
I don't. Like, I haven't really searched it a whole lot. I'm basically in just a waiting game because I think that's where they're at. They're not going to hire anybody till after the season.
Sorry, I'm going to go a little off on this, but I really think that they need to just focus on what type of GM and what type of coach is going to come in and not be a full rebuild. I don't want this. I feel like the last administration was doing a rebuild. We have talented there. Let's just think about it. Galladay, if he's healthy, is a top tier receiver. I think. I mean, even if you want to call him a tier 2 receiver, fine. Yep. Right. Tight end, Hawkinson is
Stud.
a top tier.
He's the best tight end in football. That with the people that are injured right now. He's really he's leading the conference
live right now. Yeah, without Kittle.
Yeah, he's leading the conference in Pro Bowl votes. So I mean.
He's legit, right? He's awesome. I think Swift is amazing.
Legit.
I think we finally hit on a running back. Like I'm telling you guys this earlier. Like since 2004, like just listen to these names that we've drafted: Kevin Jones, who was a first rounder; Kevin Smith, third rounder; Mikel LaShore.
Oh gosh, I was so
second
excited
rounder,
about LaShore.
USC.
So excited.
Javid Best, first round; Abdullah, second round; Johnson, second round. Carry on. And then the other Johnson was like a 5th or 6th round or whatever. But like, and I'm not even going through all the guys we drafted at running back, just the guys that we drafted in the first couple rounds. Yeah. And here we are now. I think finally worked out. And if you think about receivers back in the day when we drafted receivers for years, and we finally worked out with Calvin, and then and then we drafted receivers again, and it finally worked out with Galladay. Yeah. And tight ends the same way. I think we have 3 of them right now, and I'm very excited about that. So we have to find the right person that's willing to build around that offense. But we also have a couple of key defensive players in play. So this is where it gets confusing. I want somebody to maximize our offense, but also
we have enough talent to maximize that too.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to be Super Bowl contenders next year. Well, not yet. I will be before preseason.
Yeah. But before the end of this episode.
We got plenty of time before we get into that. But no, I agree. I think what we're seeing the last couple of games is the talent is there, and we're missing a lot of our talent too.
We are, and depth. Another thing, like we are going to lose. I think it's 0. I might be wrong, but looking at it, our whole offensive line is returning.
Yeah,
right. I don't think anybody's under contract like that's starting right now. I might be
The
wrong.
cool part is the way that Jonah Jackson's really becoming a good left guard.
Huge.
He's a stud, and the name escapes me. Whoever played right tackle on Sunday, and he played most of the week before too. He looked really good too. He was a rookie.
So you're like 5th or 6th round pick.
Yeah. Which I really like what he's doing. The right side of the line needs to be updated. I think Vaitai was a big miss by Bob Quinn. But
as of right now, I mean, you don't.
I like the offensive line.
You don't know what new coaching.
I really do like the offensive line.
Right, and so you maybe add a piece, and that's
we
what
have
I think.
Crosby too when he's healthy.
If we can spend some money on getting a lineman and maybe some sort of defensive leader, I really do like that our team. Like I'm not. Like I think our team is not that bad. I think it's appealing to a coach to come to.
Yeah, we have a lot of good players. We need that playmaker.
Right.
We need that guy that people like rely on to make the play. You know what I mean? So everybody else can do their job because that dude's going to be there to help no matter where it is on the field. He's going to be there.
Because our offense, we have it. And guys, we're
losing a lot on offense.
We can't give up on that bum from the state below us. Like we don't know what he, I don't want to talk about him because he's from that. Yeah, but I don't.
We can say his name. He's a Lion now. Dude.
He's a Lion now. I'm still just hating.
Well,
but,
Taylor Becker, you brought up the offensive line.
That's a good point. Son of a gun. 2 Buckeyes. So
isn't Jonah Jackson a Buckeye too?
Okay, let's get past that.
I think he is.
Yeah,
right?
he is.
Let's get past that. I'm just messing around, but like we can't give up on that guy either. Could he be something special, especially if he continues to get coaching and gets healthy?
For sure.
So
look at the way that Aurier moved from year 1 to year 2.
Right.
I expect that from Okudah, and I think he's going to be a very good corner in this league.
Right. So I think that if you're a coach, I mean, you're not going to the Jets. I mean, imagine going to the Jets right now. Other than that, might get Lawrence. Yeah. So. That's it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to the Jets right now, I mean, did you see
cupboard's empty there?
They're so bad.
They're so bad.
Hey, can we jump back a little bit on coach?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we got a comment. Jared says he likes Salah or Salah.
I think it's Salah technically.
Salah, I think, or something.
Salah.
I don't know. I might be messing up.
He thinks he'll change the defense and need a GM that can draft. Obviously, the GM thing. I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But Salah, I mean, how do you guys feel about him? If he were to hypothetically be hired.
All right, so I think this is getting a little deeper than what we wanted to, but we'll just cut a couple other things short. But
sorry.
I like it. The thing that I like about Salah is he is on a offensive-minded team with the 49ers because that's what Shanahan is. Shanahan's offensive-minded. That is his baby.
He's willing to adjust his
Patricia
baby was not.
No, but hold on. Shanahan's baby is the offensive mind. So he relies heavily on Salah. Who's the guy from 49ers, the offensive, or not 49ers, the Chiefs offensive coordinator that people keep bringing up?
Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy. I would rather take Salah, whatever, over Bieniemy because he has a offensive-minded head coach, and the defense is his baby, and that's the way it works, and it works well. That's what led them to the playoffs last year in a lot of ways. But then where you look at the Chiefs, it's like, yeah, you have him as the offensive coordinator, Bieniemy, but he also has an offensive-minded head coach, one of the best offensive-minded coaches in football history, holding his hand along the way. I don't want another guy that's like, hey,
like Patricia.
Yeah, like Patricia was. I feel like I was burned by that. I feel like the organization was burned by that too. That's why I'm very curious if they would be willing to hire a first-year head coach, like a coordinator type thing.
I don't know if they will hire a first-year head coach. But one thing I do like about him is that
which one?
Salah.
Okay.
Yeah. Salah. Salah. I don't know why I'm calling him Salah. Salah. We gotta learn his name.
I'm not gonna learn it until I have to.
Yeah, until we have to. But he's from here. He cares a lot. I mean, he wants the Lions to be successful. I think there's some passion there.
Yeah, bringing guys home works really well in this state.
Yeah, true. But I think it's a legit question. Like, Jared, I get what you're saying, and trying to build the defense up, but it always bothers me. Like, that was Patricia. He was supposed to build the defense up too.
Yeah.
Like, I need somebody to come in and be a head coach, unless he's willing to dominate the defense, like take control over the defense or offense, which I don't know that any of them are doing that. Is he willing to be a coach of his coaches? We have to find somebody that's going to be a coach of their coaches because that is important in order to be a successful organization. Yeah,
and one thing that you're seeing here, and staying on Salah, is you had Patricia. He was loved by his players on the Patriots. Absolutely loved. He was excited off the field. He was giving hugs constantly. Like, that was his role on the Patriots. That's exactly what Salah is. Salah is full of energy. I mean, not saying Patricia's full of energy, but Salah is an energy guy. He's in his team's, like, he's hugs. He's like part of the team on the defensive side. Can he transition to be the bad guy as well? That's what I think really hurt Patricia is he turned over and he had to be the bad guy. And he knew that he had to be the bad guy, and he overthought being the bad guy. You know what I mean? And I think that was his biggest thing is he is a very good football coach. Don't tell me that he's not a good football coach. He's not going to win rings in New England if he's not a good football coach. But what he's not is a leader of men in this moment.
And not only leader of his players, but his coaches.
Yeah.
Like, that matters. And I think that that's why I think that in hiring somebody with coaching experience is the most important thing here. They know that. They might have learned that the hard way already.
Yeah.
That, hey,
they're coming in being like, hey, I've already been here.
Yeah.
I don't need to prove anything to you.
Nope.
And I feel like Patricia was just like, I need to prove something. I'm going to go above and beyond to prove this. That rubs a lot of people the wrong way very, very quickly.
Right.
But that was a good Lions discussion. So we're going to move on